Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and on my latest trip to Billund, Denmark, home of the Lego Group, I got a chance to travel to some of the wildest, craziest, most out-of-this-world antique stores with a couple of my other Lego YouTuber friends. So what's the big deal about this? Well, to be honest, I don't really go that often to antique stores in the US myself. Sometimes finding Lego there does net you treasures, but they're usually kind of few and far between. That was not the case in Billund, Denmark, which I guess makes sense for a town that basically is essentially controlled by Lego, with almost every single person you meet having worked for Lego in some capacity in their lives or currently working for Lego at that time. All sorts of weird stuff tends to pop up at the antique stores all around the surrounding vicinity. So over the course to multiple journeys across many different antique stores in Denmark, including visiting one that I got from a tip from Samuel Johnson, designer at the Lego Group. Literally, I met him and he was like, "Hey, you probably want to check this place out." And I was like, looked at the photo. Yeah, I do want to check that out. This has been a summary of all of the Lego related antique stores that I got a chance to visit in Billund, Denmark. And the tales are legendary. So this video is going to be split into two parts. The first part will be taking a look at the antique stores themselves, actually chronicling my vlog footage of hunting through the stores, finding rare treasures, and so on and so forth, chronicling the entire journey of all the different stores we went to, because I think I visited like 3 or 4, maybe 5, so there was a lot. And then the second part of this video will be the massive haul. Some of the rarest, strangest Lego items I've ever gotten the chance to add to my collection are now here because of these phenomenal antique stores. And so, if you're only interested in one part or the other, you can definitely just jump to that point in the description below. But without further ado, let's jump into Billund, Denmark, transport ourselves back in time, and take a look at this incredible journey. And of course, stay tuned for the end of the video, where here is a sneak peek of a brand new display I've set up in my house showcasing some of the rarest items now mounted on my wall. Of course, we're going to start off with the very first destination, which was Flea. Well, Flea is actually a word for flea market in Danish, and as such, there are multiple different chains of Flea all around Denmark. The one that we went to was naturally the one that was closest to Billund, aka the home of the Lego Group. It was the closest one to Legoland Billund as well as the Lego House, and as such, it made sense to just visit this one and see how good it was. And oh my goodness, we were not disappointed. Now, here was our crucial mistake. We went on the weekend after Skærbæk Fan Weekend, which is one of the largest Lego conventions, particularly in Denmark, where fans from all over the world gather in Billund just to attend this convention. And because of that, there was a massive line of purely AFOLs just lined up outside of this flea market on opening day, just ready to be able to snap up the treasures inside. We did get a chance to get a lot of really rare items, but I definitely want to plan on going next year, maybe before Skærbæk, so we can actually get a chance to be able to maybe hit it a little earlier than everybody else, because there was a massive swarm of AFOLs. It was actually really funny because the moment the doors opened, everyone rushed in, and I think everyone working at the store knew that we weren't there to buy clothing. We were looking for something else. Now, this is going to be a pretty recurring theme throughout this entire video, but the thing that really blew me away about the flea markets and antique stores in Denmark was just the sheer variety of interesting and weird Lego items and the crazy prices. Stuff that would individually sell for $70 to $200 in the US were being sold for maybe $5 to $10 US. And the prices and variety of the different items there was honestly unbelievable. If you're curious, you probably will see some price tags here in this video, and you can go ahead and convert it from DKK to USD. For instance, this entire bin of some of the rarest Lego Technic elements was only around $50 to $60 US, which is kind of a steal given just how many unique pieces are in it, especially from the early days of Lego Technic and Bionicle. It's a shame I wasn't able to just go crazy and pick up everything, and I really had to pick and choose what I wanted to get because I simply just didn't have enough room in my suitcases. And yes, I eventually ended up shipping around 8 massive boxes home, and even then I still had to pick and choose, because if this used store was in the US, I guarantee that all of their inventory at these prices would be gone immediately. They were selling Fabuland Lego figures for around $5 each, old vintage Lego sets for half off Bricklink price, if not even lower. It was honestly just a different world. I felt like I'd stumbled through a time portal into a different dimension, and I would highly recommend that if you are ever visiting the homeland of the Lego Group in Billund, Denmark, go check out Flea and go check out some of these weird random antique stores, because you never know what you're going to find. Of course, I had to pick up a copy of the Bionicle Mask of Light CD in Danish, which I felt was a really cool item to have Christian Faber sign, who was the creator of Bionicle. I met him a few days later, and just going around the store, the variety of different items was very unique. In a normal used LEGO store, you'll normally see maybe some used sets that are fully built, a couple of sealed sets here and there, but you never see stuff like this. We were finding vintage LEGO items from the 1970s and 1980s. We were finding LEGO Modulex bricks at incredible prices, Fabuland figures, old keychains, employee gifts. Some items that even I had never seen before, and for me to say that, that is saying something. Now what I did is I tried to get a really good variety from the store of just different types of weird LEGO items. Yes, I did get a lot of the rare stuff that I really wanted to collect and pick up, but there were also just a ton of items in this store that I never had seen before and just wanted to showcase, and you're going to be able to take a look at that later on when we showcase the haul itself. I actually have never gotten the chance to interact with Scala or a ton of Belleville before. If you don't know what that is, it is LEGO's original doll-oriented line, so I made sure to get at least a few of those figures just to be able to try my hand at it, and they just had the strangest stuff. Mosasaurus heads for a couple bucks each, just in bulk. I don't know what the story is behind that. Just so many different bits and pieces of random items that genuinely I do not know the history and background behind why these items even ended up here. It was honestly a treasure trove full of different random pieces, the likes of which I have never seen at any other antique store. And I guess that sort of makes sense. Being in the homeland of LEGO, where pretty much everybody that you meet and their relatives on the street all worked for LEGO at some point in their lives or are working for LEGO nowadays, it was no surprise that this store was absolutely filled with the weirdest LEGO memorabilia. Service packs from the 90s, old Legoland promotional coupons, old Legoland postcards, and different types of exclusive items. They just were jam-packed full of all sorts of different LEGO pieces from across the history of the company, and I wouldn't be surprised if LEGO themselves were to maybe just dump some stuff from the factory that they don't really need here. I heard some stories that occasionally a lot of items from the factory just end up here if they aren't deemed ready for sale because it is just an antique store and it's not LEGO selling it officially, so it was really insane just being able to see the sheer variety of different stuff. Obviously, you can see from the video here just how many different items they had, and yes, this is an entirely LEGO section, but first, let's hear from some of my friends in terms of what they actually were picking up themselves, and also how we were trying to figure out how to distribute the different items.
So yeah, I gotta get some plushy Batman in here, and now I'm going through and like figuring out.
I'm glad you got some Fabuland.
Yeah, you gotta have it. You know, you gotta have it. Inspired by you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my god.
If I ever want to start a vintage train collection, now is clearly the time.
I'm really curious if folks in the comments are recognizing some of these items, if you happen to own any of them, because there were some pretty obscure and random items here from the annals of LEGO's history, stuff that LEGO would probably like to be forgotten, but it was really interesting seeing just all sorts of different items, and honestly, I kind of regret not picking up some of them because the prices were pretty amazing, and it really just boiled down to how much storage space did I have. Now, this particular store seems to be one that a lot of locals who are big LEGO fans go to on a fairly regular basis, because you never really know what's going to be brought into a store like this. Unlike the US, where finding LEGO at an antique store is pretty hit or miss, and honestly, I've never really even tried to look because I never really figured I would find anything interesting, it felt that almost every antique store in Billund was guaranteed to have some sort of LEGO item, even just a little bit, although this particular destination, being its close proximity to the LEGO headquarters, was definitely the best one to go to, at least by all accounts. Now, the interesting thing about the store is that it was kind of split up all across the store itself. There were LEGO items mixed in with other different toys, other clothing items, and all sorts of different stuff. You can see me filling up my cart right here, and because of that, it really felt that you had to spend a lot of time in this store just going around and trying to see what sorts of strange items that maybe others might have missed that you're able to pick up. I especially was able to stay in the store for quite a few hours and just dig through and find all sorts of crazy random items, and one of the things I really do regret not getting is that there was a vintage LEGO massive, I don't know how to describe it, it was like a big carrying case from the 1960s, 1970s that I really wanted to get. It was a little bit water damaged and it would have been literally impossible to bring home, but I still kind of wish I got that one. And yes, they had the Duplo pull-along duck, and yes, I totally should have gotten it, but admittedly it wasn't in great shape. Also in the store itself were just bags and bags full of random minifigures and homemaker figures. They were pretty mix and match. They weren't necessarily corresponding to any correct configurations, but it was still interesting to see, as well as this massive tree design full of just a ton of wooden Lego blocks, which is really rare to find. Here you can see a look at my cart, and this was really only halfway through my journey. I had filled it up with a ton of stuff. Those base plates were, I believe, only around $8 to $10 each, so I definitely had to get them in my collection, and you can see that Lego carrying case right at the front of my cart as well. Now, some of the rarer items were placed in these glass cases, which was really interesting to see, but even though, despite their rarity, the prices were still pretty good, especially when you convert DKK to USD. You can see these excellent condition Modulex boxes, which I kind of wish I picked some up, but by the time I went back after filming, they were literally all gone because, again, this place got absolutely flooded with Lego fans. Now, there were lots of really interesting items. Here's a 1974 Lego Golden Ticket free gift thing, which was really weird and interesting to see. They had Fabuland keychains, which was super cool, a ton of exclusives from the Lego World conventions, which were Europe exclusive conventions co-hosted by Lego, which always had exclusive prints and minifigures, some of which you can see later on in my haul, and just overall a really rich display of tons and tons of rare Lego minifigures for astoundingly good prices. I feel like here, especially in Denmark, the market for Lego is really different, since there's so much of it and everybody and everyone has Lego fallen out of their ears. It's not quite as expensive as it is in the US, which is a little bit weird because the prices of Lego sets are a lot higher in Denmark for whatever reason than the US, but at least in terms of secondhand goods, they were just a lot cheaper, and I managed to really pick up a ton of vintage Lego items while exploring around the store because the sheer variety was almost overwhelming. Here you can see a video of me digging through some of the minifigure bins at this absolute cornucopia of rare Lego items, and this was definitely one of the coolest Lego-related stores I have ever been to. And yeah, you can see that Fabuland was pretty cleared out. Road plates, especially the vintage style, were always abundant. They even had some crater plates, which was really great, and so much Fabuland at such good prices too. I am seriously regretting not picking up every single one I could get my hands on. I've been trying to go for a 100% complete Fabuland figure collection, and I feel like I probably could have done it here. After all, they had the elusive parrot. In fact, I got 2 copies of the parrot, but I guess that I just wasn't really focused on that at the time because there were just so many other items to see, and my shopping cart was already pretty much 100% full. A lot of good memories from these items as well. I remember playing around with the Lego Sports Soccer Ball when I was a kid. I think I got that from Legoland Germany when I was a kid. They had some weird postcards advertising Scala sets like the ones that you can see right here, which I guess originated from Legoland. Of course, lots and lots of Modulex, which if you aren't aware, are a little bit smaller than normal Lego pieces, which you can see them in relation to my hands. My hands are not that big. These are actually smaller than Lego bricks. They were working at a completely different scale here, and just all around some very interesting items at insane prices. Next year, here is my plan. I definitely want to visit the store before the craziness of Scarebic Fan Weekend, before the rush of AFOLs actually arrive in the store itself, because this is definitely something I would love to just spend so much time in, and heck, I might go for 1 week, take a look at some other stuff, maybe do fan media days again next year, and then at the end of the week, I'll go again and they probably will be replenished. In fact, we literally ran into someone at the parking lot who was bringing in a ton of vintage items into the store just for trade-in, and I believe a lot of them were just donations to the store itself, because this seems to be a pretty nice pillar of the community around the Lego factory and the Lego hometown. And of course, with my cart fully complete, it was time to check out, and my friends Jonathan, aka Mini Superheroes Today, as well as a ton of other folks there, were trying to place their bets as to how much money I actually spent on my cart.
So with my haul, what is your guess?
9,000 krone.
9,000
I'd
krone.
be more than that, but I'm going with that.
What's your guess?
I'm guessing 1,300 USD.
Okay, okay.
I'm guessing 1,500 USD.
Oh man.
We know its Price is Right rules. Whoever gets the closest without going over.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh my god, I have no earthly conception of how much this is. Thank you so much.
And yes, beating out Sarah, aka Just Too Good, as well as his friend Frederick, Jonathan was pretty much right on the dot. I spent a little over 1,300 USD on all of the items, which honestly for me was an absolute steal. And I'm honestly surprised at how well he was able to get that. But of course, as we were about to leave, we spotted the Lego sign just all the way across the street. And of course, you know us, we had to go check it out. Although unfortunately, this store across the street from Flea didn't really have anything. They had 50% off all Lego Mario sets, which was actually a pretty crazy deal. However, I already own all of them and no one else really cared, so that was about it. But then, later on came the really crazy thing. You see, I was chatting with Lego designer Samuel Johnson, and he whipped out his phone and he basically was like, hey, did you go here yet? And he started to show me pictures of this place called Kerpu Herning. It was about a 40-minute drive outside of Legoland Billund, so it was a bit of a ways out, but he highly recommended that I go. And I was like, all right, you know what? If famed Lego designer Sam Johnson, aka kind of the head of Lego Ideas, is telling me I gotta check this out, whipping out his phone and showing me a Bionicle board game on the shelf, I have to go, like there's no other choice then. And so I was able to rally Sarah, aka Just Too Good, and we made the venture out at the end of Fan Media Days to check out this used Lego and antique store. But on our way, we actually were able to check out a few other antique stores in the area as well, although to be honest, they weren't really that interesting. This was the first one that we went to, and there weren't a ton of amazing items. I guess they had a few older Lego sets at less than Bricklink prices, but they were all sets I already owned, so I didn't really need to get them. The Chima set was an absolute steal at 175 krone, because that is probably the craziest price you're going to get sealed for an old Chima set from 2013. I believe that roughly translates to around 25 US dollars, which is way cheaper than retail, so that was pretty good. But again, didn't really need it because I already had my carry-ons, check-ins, and many boxes full. So here's us going alongside the road, trying to find other flea markets. We even actually walked to the next one, which was kind of just a few blocks down, and it's really crazy just seeing so many different Lego signs scattered around Billund. Here at the next flea market, they had a selection of toys, but to be honest, not a ton of Lego. And again, this was just kind of one step on our road towards the really, really exciting one. They had some Lego bags, but nothing super crazy. The only item I got here was this Scala base plate. Yes, that is Lego, despite the studs looking a little bit different, because it was specifically built for Scala figures, but is compatible with Lego bricks. They did have some interesting stuff like some light aqua track elements from the Lego Friends roller coaster, but I really only wanted that base plate, so that was, I think, the only item I got other than a sealed Lego Chima set, which was one of the additional accessory packs that I didn't really necessarily need for myself. But then, thus came the long journey to our final destination, and at long last we had made it, and we were incredibly excited because this looked like it was about to have an absolute treasure trove of Lego. Now, this is the second store, kind of the second main store on the list, which Samuel Johnson recommended to us. Of course, we started immediately seeing a couple of unique Lego items in the glass cases, a very strange collection of Lego things, but then we rushed on over and saw a ton of Lego items just sitting on the shelf, including some of the Bricktober exclusive packs, which is super cool. You can see my excitement while filming this because there was a Bionicle board game in there, the Maersk train, a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and yes, strangely enough, this store had a pretty wide variety of Comic-Con exclusives from San Diego. Clearly, someone who was a Lego fan just kind of donated them to the store. I was able to pick up this pretty mint condition Indiana Jones set from my friend Jonathan, Mini Superheroes Today, aka the biggest Indiana Jones fan that I know, and especially the biggest Lego Indiana Jones fan that I think exists. But they had some really crazy stuff here. I picked up some of the other stuff for him as well because they had signed artworks from Dan Wiesenmeyer, who was an artist who worked on a lot of the early Lego comics and Lego video game artwork back in the day, all from Comic-Con.
Look at this. I literally got this at Scareback, but I might get another one because it's in good condition. And it just keeps going. That's a Comic-Con exclusive set. This is the limited edition Lego Technic set. That's crazy. And of course, you have the OG Ewok Village fully sealed. That is absolutely insane. And that's more because I can even see behind me, there's like a Lego City lunchbox and stuff. This is absolutely crazy.
As you can see, we were incredibly pumped to be able to find so many different random rare Lego items, and to be honest, while the prices were not much better than Bricklink, they were better, but it wasn't as crazy as Flea. It was still really cool to be able to see so many obscure Lego items in the store, and I definitely was able to pick up that Bionicle board game in German for whatever reason, for around 30 US dollars, which I think is maybe going price. I recently was able to find one in English for also 30 bucks, so I guess that was a good price for it. But overall, it was still pretty cool to see so many different random Lego items kind of scattered around the store. Now, unlike Flea, there wasn't really a clear organizational system for this. We just happened to just keep stumbling upon random Lego items like that McDonald's Lego Movie promo, a freestyle Lego set of all things, random sealed Ninjago sets from Legacy and even Day of the Departed / Skybound, just different sorts of random Lego items, including Lego books and Lego stickers, which we were just able to stumble across. Now, unfortunately, they did not have the one random Lego sticker sheet I was really looking for. It is the Hey Babe sticker sheet. Look it up. It's a really good one. That is like the one Lego sticker sheet I really want to own because it's funny. But they did have a pretty decent selection of just random Lego items, as you would expect a thrift store like this to have, including Lego books. I think one of the most interesting things that I did find there that was pretty cool was a copy of the Lego Ninjago Skull Truck from 2011, which I later got the instruction manual signed by Tommy Andresen, which you can actually check out in my Bricklink store right now, linked in the description below. But other than that, there wasn't really anything super crazy going on there. They had a ton of used Lego sets, but nothing I didn't own already, and to be honest, the selection was not quite as good as I think we were both hoping for it to be, because it was pretty hyped up, we were very excited about it, and the selection was just okay. But I definitely feel like with antique stores, it honestly is pretty hit or miss. You might be able to go tomorrow and get an insane selection of items full of some of the rarest stuff that we just didn't even see or weren't even there yet. So I feel like you kind of have to play roulette with stores like this, and I'm glad we went because it was a really fun experience, because of course, right across from it was a McDonald's, which we definitely were able to visit. Now, here are some of the more interesting items we saw, including this Lego carrying case, which I also would have gotten if I had luggage space, but I absolutely did not have any space. It was at a pretty good price too, and I've never seen it before, so I probably should have gotten it, but I also am not really sure what I would have done with it. They even had 2 copies of it. Moving on to the shelves over here, here are some of the bagged used sets, and this actually started looking a lot like a used Lego store in the US in particular, where you would see a ton of bags like that. But soon enough, it was time to head back because Sarah had to catch her flight back to the US, so this was our short visit to Kirpu, which the only item that I got, aside from a few items for Jonathan, was this Bionicle adventure game, which expect a video on this very soon because I would love to showcase that. As I was packing stuff away, I noticed I also got this Lego sealed Chima accessory pack, which I mentioned earlier in the video. This is just kind of a random item featuring a few different random pieces, as well as one of these special rubberized grip cords and stickers, which you can use to keep track of your speed or score. It was a promotional item that I honestly never picked up in 2013 when it was available, so I figured, you know what, why not get something weird and strange? Of course, in these boxes, you can see me frantically packing up a ton of random Lego items I had acquired on my trip, which, yeah, that's a whole separate video onto itself. The final destination that myself and my LEGO Masters teammate Robert checked out was Lalandia, going after a really nice tip from a friend of ours who had mentioned just to check out the LEGO store because something interesting was there. We went to Lalandia, which is an indoor theme park, the likes of which I've pretty much only also seen in Dubai. They have theme parks just like this, but inside of it was a LEGO store, and weirdly enough, this official LEGO store had LEGO game sets, particularly multiple copies of Frog Rush, in the LEGO store, which is actually an official branch of the store itself. So there's Rob, and let's go ahead and take a look.
So we are at Lalandia. This is kind of a cross between a mall and a theme park. It reminds me of a lot of places I've been to in Dubai. But they have a toy store here, a Lego shop, and the oldest item here, aside from what I'm about to show you, are probably some random Eternal sets. Like, that was okay a couple of years ago. But then I turned the corner, and thanks to a tip from JollyTime24, we have these. These are, I believe, might have been European exclusives from 2011 or 2020. Yeah, 2011. The Frog Rush game. And what's the best part is, this is 100 krones, so that means that these cost around 14 US dollars, which is absolutely nuts. I'm definitely gonna get one because I did not own this Lego game set yet, and it's the Frog one.
As you can see, I lied and got a few more than one. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of them. But now let's take a look at the haul. So this is everything. The LEGO 50% off store, Scareback Fan Weekend, and yes, the 2 antique stores that I discussed in this video, and I guess it was a little more than 2, but the 2 main ones that I discussed in this video. Pretty much everything I got in Billund, Denmark this trip is here, with the exception of one last shopping spree at the employee store, which I'm about to leave for in around 15 minutes, so I'm quite excited for that. But for the most part, this is essentially all of the items, and now we can focus in on what I actually got at the antique stores and just do a dedicated haul based on that. I'm probably going to film this part once I'm back home, but I just wanted to showcase really quick. This is the enormity of the Denmark haul because there's so much more content coming about all of my adventures in Denmark, some of which I can't even publish until January, February, even March, April, June, or beyond of next year because there's some crazy stuff that I saw that I can't even talk about. But for the most part, let's jump into my antique store haul.
Okay, so now that the entire journey around those Billund, Denmark antique stores is complete, here we can see a selection of pretty much a sample of everything that I got at those stores. Now, I do have a ton of Lego I'm still sorting through as evidenced by the underside of the desk here, so I might be missing a couple of things, but for the most part, I am pretty sure that this is almost everything that I was able to get from the antique stores. And there are some pretty crazy items here. There's lots of things that I never thought I would own in my lifetime. And one of the things that I do want to point out is that this Bionicle board game is going to get a separate video of its own. I'm going to be playing it with my buddy Jake, a member of Team Duckbricks, so do stay tuned for that if you want to see more about that Bionicle game. I will not be opening it on this video. But basically everything else is pretty much fair game to just go crazy and see what we can open up, what we can find, and there's a lot of exciting and just random strange Lego items in here. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to try to kind of go one by one, at least as best I can, and just talk through some of these items, and just to give you a feel for some of the rare and interesting things that you would find. Because when you're going to an antique store, you would typically tend to find really old stuff, like really ancient Lego items. But also included here were a lot of very interesting, just even newer and modern stuff. Stuff like this, for instance, which this is probably the item I'm most excited about. So we'll be getting to that in a second. But let's go ahead and start off with some of the oldest items on this list. Back in the early beginnings of the Lego group, they used to make wooden toys, and one of those wooden toys were the set of blocks from the 1940s. Now, these blocks are incredibly hard to find in the US. In fact, when I was at a convention recently, I literally paid around $40 to $50 per block just to get DB for duck bricks. And then I walked into the antique store and they had them for a very good price. So I got a ton. I will be giving these away for some prizes as well as just auctioning off some of them. But for a lot of them, I do want to add them into my collection. It's really crazy to be able to see so many different wooden Lego toys. I mean, these are pretty much unrecognizable as Lego, if not for the actual Lego markings. So very, very cool. They are in varying conditions. Some of them are better off than others, but it's really cool. This one's really rare because it's the ABC blocks. That one is a little bit harder to find than some of the other ones. It is a little bit beat up though, but it's kind of crazy seeing official Lego wooden toys in my collection. Never thought I would own something like this, and a lot of these are going to be going into my future Lego museum. So super excited to have these, and now we can set those aside. Those are probably the oldest items that I have here, but there's still so much to actually go through because there is a lot to see. Now let's start moving on into some of the other interesting things. One of my favorite Lego sub-themes is Lego Fabuland, and they had a ton of individual Fabuland figures just kind of individually bagged like this. We're going to go ahead and zoom on into what I was able to get with the Fabuland figures right here. If you don't know what Fabuland is, early in the 1980s, Lego did this kind of initiative where they were kind of trying to tell stories through television shows, similar to how they are telling stories now, and Fabuland was a bridge between Lego and Duplo. With these very cute anthropomorphic characters, this was kind of Lego's early foray into telling their own unique stories and creating their own characters. Every single one of the characters had a name, and while these aren't in the best condition, they are after all just kind of randomly from an antique store, it is so cool to add so many figures to my Fabuland collection because this line performed remarkably well in certain regions of the world like Europe, but didn't really do so well in the US, which means that in the US, it's actually really hard to get a hold of figures like these. You really do have to know what you're looking for and hunt around for them, and I'm finally able to own a lot of these figures, which I never thought I would own ever since because they're so rare to get. Getting Fabuland sets is also quite hard to come by, and I recently was able to get a few of them off of Bricklink, but getting all these individual figures is very hard, especially one of the ones I was most excited to find. I think I actually found 2 copies of it, so maybe there's another copy hidden away here, but that is
this guy right here. Let me go ahead and open this up. And that is the parrot. The parrot from Fabuland only came in one set. I don't know, he kind of looks like a duck brick styled type of thing. Maybe imagine if he wasn't green, but he's got like the yellow bill, so really wanted that one. This one is admittedly very beat up. I think the other copy that I got is equally beat up, so I don't think I ever got any in super good condition, but it is so cool to finally own the Fabuland parrot. That's probably one of the most niche Lego items that I've been wanting to pick up for, honestly, years now. So it's very cool to actually own him. And now I have a little bit of a Fabuland collection. I did manage to get a couple of duplicates just to really flesh out my Fabuland world. I really do want to do a big Fabuland display, either in my future museum or even just in my current collection. I think that would be very cool to do something like that. And it was cool to see these all available at the antique store. So here's a little Fabuland figure collection from the antique stores. It was really great because I believe they were only around like $3 to $5 each. It was a great deal for Fabuland figures, unheard of on Bricklink. I mean, they're so expensive to especially get your hands on the figures. So really happy to now have a lot more citizens to populate my town. A lot of these are unique ones, but I did manage to get multiple copies of certain animals. Like I really liked the horse one here, so I got 2 of those. I like the monkeys, and one of them is actually a keychain. So this is a legitimate Lego keychain, which is really cool. So I got one of those as the keychain form. Crocodile back there, 2 parrots. This one's actually in really good condition, which I'm very happy with. 2 of the cows. So there are some duplicates here and there, and again, I was going around the antique stores, as you saw, and just kind of grabbing a ton of stuff. So I definitely got duplicates that I maybe didn't necessarily intend to get, but they're just so cute and adorable to have, and I'm really happy I was able to get them for my collection. But now we can move on to some other rare vintage Lego items. I think the next one up that I want to showcase is this. These are some of the original Lego trees used for Lego sets in the early 1950s and 60s to be able to actually attach onto a Lego base plate. Yes, as you can see, these are Lego, but essentially the way that these would work is that you would put them in between studs and they would slot in on base plates, and they were the early trees that Lego would do. They don't really look very Lego-y, but that was when Lego was really trying to experiment with mixing different types of toys. They were trying to do things with obviously using the little Lego cars as well as just building things out of bricks, and it's really cool to see those particular pieces. Again, items I never thought I would own. Moving onwards to some other weird vintage Lego items. All of these bags are Lego Modulex bricks, and if they look a little bit interesting to you, you may notice that if I bring alongside a regular size of Lego brick, they are actually a lot smaller than the standard Lego brick. They are, however, a little bit compatible with Lego brick, so it is really cool to use them in certain types of applications and usages. Essentially, this was when Lego was experimenting with the Modulex company, which is something they created, but later spun out into its own company to have an entirely different building style, mostly used for architecture students and for actual architects. It was kind of their 18+ Lego back in the day. This was really marketed towards adults to use these bricks to build floor plans and to actually create different things. I got a ton of Modulex bricks because these are just so cool to get. I also got a full-on Modulex set, which I may do a showcase on for a separate Modulex video, which is why I'm not really highlighting that in this particular video, but this is just so cool to see all of these vintage Lego Modulex bricks. They feel so weird because they are so small. No, my hands are not that big. These are actually that tiny, and it really trips you up because they're identical to Lego bricks, but just so much smaller, and this was just a really cool thing to get to add into my collection. Moving onwards from that, let's set aside all the Fabuland figures for now so we can just start to sort of at least clear up this space here. The next items that I got that were quite exciting to me are a number of items related to Lego promotional campaigns and the Lego World Convention, which is something that they hold on a regular basis. So let me bring alongside some of those, particularly every single year, there is a Lego World Convention that is held. It is kind of an official Lego convention done by Lego themselves, so it is technically an official Lego item. But they all have these exclusive Lego minifigures. So this is the 2014 Lego World minifigure. What I did was I tried to get a copy of all the different ones. So I really just tried to expand my collection of weird printed Lego minifigures like this. These are, I believe, technically done by a third party, but since it is for an official Lego event, I figured it made sense to get. This is Lego World 2018, so that's a pretty interesting torso design there. And these are essentially given out to attendees at Lego World. I think it is held in Denmark and I think in the Netherlands as well, so quite strange. I've never been to one of the conventions myself. Well, that's crazy. This minifigure's head is cracked. Look at that. That's weird. But yeah, this is the 2013 one. Thankfully, it is just a standard smiley, so not a big deal, but they all have their own unique and different types of torso and printing. Obviously, you can see they're officially sponsored by Lego with the Lego.com logo on the back of them. So all of these are official Lego items, and thankfully these prices are not in US dollars. Obviously they were in Danish krone, so if you're curious you can do the conversion there. But here we have another Lego World 2018 set. This one did come with the actual tiles, so that was very cool to see these kind of in this almost like mosaic or puzzle type of thing. So you put it together to form the Lego World tiles. And here you can see this is another minifigure with Lego World 2018 with actually an identical torso to this one. So I might actually only keep one of these and I might sell the other one, but very, very cool to see that. This tile is so interesting to see the Lego World printed on here. And again, it's an official thing sponsored by Lego. Very strange for Lego to actually make minifigures for that, but it is how it works. We have another one right here. This is the Lego, what is this? Lego World 2011, I guess? Yeah, this is actually showcasing where the convention was held in a place called Bella Center. If commenters have been to Lego World, let me know what it's like and if it's worth going to. I'm kind of curious about it myself, but very interesting to see all of these special prints for the Lego minifigures. These are all different tiles as well. I guess this is kind of an incomplete Lego World piece, so someone was supposed to build up something, but this one didn't quite get the full thing. But yeah, February 17 to 20, 2011. So quite interesting to see all of these items. Lego World also does have some poly bags, like this one is a sealed Lego World poly bag from 2019. However, I don't keep anything sealed, so I'm just gonna open it up. Whoa, that's weird. I think, is that piece exclusive? It's a metallic gold baseball cap. That is so interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna open this up on camera right now. I do not care about the packaging also isn't that interesting. It's just kind of a regular bag, so nothing super crazy going on there. Cool to see this set number though. I might keep this for now just to add it to my brick set list, but here you can see, yeah, this is definitely unique to this minifigure. It is a metallic gold baseball cap. That is crazy for Lego World 2019. That is so cool to see. These are just standard 2x4 bricks, so nothing super crazy going on there, but I'm gonna stick all these together for Lego World 2019, which also comes with this set of kind of tiles here. Very cool to see that. Yeah, very interesting. This seems to be a convention held in like February, maybe every year. Yeah, I think it's every year, so I might go to one in the future. Here's another Lego World poly bag. This was Lego World 2020, so this one does not unfortunately have an exclusive cap like the other one, but it does have a lot of nice printed elements, so I'm going to go ahead and open this one up here so we can really take a look at what we have available. Oh, that's interesting. This one has a printed red brick that says BFF. How weird. Like, there's just weird stuff included in here. Yeah, you can see the torso here doesn't actually say Lego World, which is kind of interesting how they didn't say that. It does say 12, which is the 12th year that Lego World was held. And then, of course, you do have the Lego World 2020 tile here. And I'm very curious if Lego will keep on doing stuff like this, because they've kind of recently changed their minifigure policy such that they do not actually have printings on minifigures for custom events really anymore. So I'm curious if like Lego World 2024 will have something like that. So that is pretty cool. They had basically a full set, but I kind of divvied it up between myself, Sarah, Just Too Good, as well as Jonathan, Mini Superheroes Today. We were really trying to divvy these up in terms of which years people wanted. So I believe Sarah has the 2023 one. I don't know about everything else, but I know that some of my friends got some of the other ones, which makes total sense. And I think I have some of the other ones in here, including this one, which is very cool because for 2015, they had a Lego Ninjago tile. So that is super cool. This Ziploc right here, I mean, speaking of, might as well just cover the Ziploc, is actually a Lego set, or at least parts of a Lego set. But I kind of threw in other items as well that I just was able to pick up and just
threw in the bag because I didn't want them to get damaged. So we'll take a look at the set later. But first of all, this is an official Lego keychain. It is a homemaker style figure as a keychain, which is kind of crazy how they literally did this as an official keychain. It is glued, so everything is fully glued together. Maybe not the hair. Yeah, the hair's not, but everything else is. But that's crazy to see this as an official keychain, probably one of the wildest official keychains I own. Now, one thing that I did manage to get were a ton of these minifigures, which actually are exclusive to Lego factory tours. If you get a chance to tour the factory, you can get one of these minifigures, which actually advertises the factory itself. This one was for 2016. I think I got some of the other ones as well. Here's another copy of the minifigure. I don't know why I got two. I'm sure that there's a block in here that says like a different year, and that's why I got two. Ah, yeah, this is, yep, 2018. So this is the 2018 factory thing. Oh, that's interesting. They're basically just identical minifigures. One says 2016, one says 2018, so that's super cool to see. What else did we get here? That's just a standard Lego brick, so that's nothing super crazy going on. Ah, here's another Lego World minifigure for 2015. So this is 2015 Lego World. That was the 7th time it was held, so I'm going to place him down with the Lego World 2015 pieces. Let's just remove some of this stuff here. Yeah, we have some price tags on bricks, which is interesting because the way that the antique store was set up was that they would just put minifigures on bricks and then stick the price tags on the bricks, which I figured was actually a pretty good system. So that's how they did that. But what was very cool is that they had a Samukai minifigure at a very good price. This was a fantastic minifig to get. I love Samukai as a figure. It is probably one of the coolest Lego Ninjago figures ever. And I do only own one of him because I did sell my other one years ago. I do regret it, so I'm now very happy to own another one. I wonder, is there a reason why the hands are like that? Oh no, maybe I just put them on so they didn't get damaged in transit. Yeah, there you go. That is Samukai from Ninjago. Super cool to see, just a really good condition one. Mine's actually a little beat up around the back, so very cool to see this one in such good condition. We had a Lego Pirates Admiral Clip. This is not an actual minifigure. This is an official Lego item that they made, which is this minifigure, but as a clip on your shirt. I think this was for Lego employees to wear, so that's super interesting to see that. Literally just a clip glued to the back of this minifigure, so that is a special item there. Setting all this aside, I think all of this is for a Shell station, so we've got a couple of the unique bricks here that say Shell and Hotel, and then this is very interesting. This is like a little garage for the small-scale Lego cars that they used to produce back in the day. This is also really cool, the way that these door pieces work, because there is a piece of wire running through them. Never seen these pieces before, but there's a piece of wire, so you kind of stick it in there, and then they snap shut. So you can see that they're literally made to snap shut because there's a wire embedded in the piece. That is pretty crazy. Never seen this piece before. Very cool to actually own something as interesting as this. And yeah, if you put it in, it closes shut like so, and you just kind of open and close it. Very, very cool. Very satisfying too. So I'm going to rebuild this in a second, and let's continue on with the video. Here's that garage from the antique store. Very cool to see that as a fully built piece that's of course printed, and we even have some other printed elements that I was able to get alongside that. I think these go to another set that I got from Scarebic Fan Weekend, which is a completely separate event, so I'm going to set those aside for now. And yeah, that is what it looks like fully built. Nothing super impressive or crazy, but it's very cool to own another piece of Lego history. Setting that aside though, let's see what else we can find here. I believe I got some more Lego Factory Tour minifigures, so let's try to get all of those out here. There's another one. That might be the last one. I think that's the last one. So right here, what year is this one from? 2017. So I got, oh, I remember how we divvied these up. We just got consecutive years. I think some other friends got the other ones, but we have 2016, 2017, and 2018 factory tours, and those are identical minifigures. However, there is also a tile that says production HMV factory tour. That was 200 Danish krone. This is very cool to see that as an actual item. And yeah, it's really crazy just the random stuff that you find at Billund antique stores, because that is clearly part of some Lego production tour. So that is super cool. Speaking of internal Lego special items, one thing that we got to do during our recent trip to Denmark as part of Fan Media Days, but unfortunately was not actually given out, was we got to tour the Lego Idea House. But due to Lego's new policy, they were no longer giving out Lego Idea House minifigures. So I had to pick one up at the antique store, which is really cool to actually own the official Lego Idea House minifigure, which is now something that they will never give away again because they have changed their policy on minifigures like this. They don't really do that anymore. However, what Lego does do is they host an internal employee event every single year, and one of these special gifts for that event was this. Now this was to celebrate the Mysteries of Play. It was kind of a cipher for a whole mystery Lego Playday event that employees got a chance to participate in. Super cool to see something like this, but this came with 2 exclusive minifigures, which you can see right here. They have identical torsos, but this one has a nice dual molded hat hair combo, and the backs of their torsos say Playday 2023. So that is really cool to see that. I was trying to get my hands on this for a while, and you can kind of use this to kind of see it a little bit more clearly. So that's very, very cool to see this as an actual item. Very special minifigures for sure. I really wanted to get my hands on them, and I'm so happy that I was able to actually find them because this is just so, so cool. Moving onwards, let's see what else we've got here. I think I see another Lego World set of items. Oh yeah, this is Lego World 2016. I don't think I got the minifigure, but I did get these special tiles. So again, more of these weird like Lego World tiles here. I definitely need to do a display in my house dedicated to just these kind of weird random Lego special items, like special Lego giveaway items. So that was super cool here. Let's see, what else did we get? Oh, I got a Lego House Mini Chef. We did actually get these when we went to the Lego House restaurant, but as you can see, the back of this is not printed with the Lego House logo, so this is the newer version. But the older version, the back of it was printed with the Lego House logo. So very weird how there are 2 different versions of this minifigure. So I got the modern one, which is here. This is the older one. Obviously, the older one is actually a little bit cooler because it does actually have Lego House printed on the back. So I don't know why they stopped doing that. Maybe that has to do with Lego's policy on special printing for minifigures. But yeah, this is the older version of the chef right here. So that is this guy. Love the head print used. That's a really good one. It's almost a shame that you can't see the Lego House logo from the back because that's really special. And then the new one, which was given to us just recently, has better accessories, I will say. Like the hat chef hair combo is very cool. Very nice to see that being integrated here. So that's a really nice piece. We have lots more accessories. We've got kind of the butcher's knife right here. We have an orange fish. We have some little bits and pots and pans, even an egg that's being cooked. So accessories, minifigure generally is better for the new one, but no printing for Lego House on the back, which is kind of strange, and I find it very interesting how they chose not to do that this time. So maybe this is the last one with a Lego House printing on the back that we'll ever get. So happy to get those. Moving onwards, let's see what else we've got here. All sorts of just random minifigures. This was just a really good price, 75 krone for the Sabine Wren minifigure from Rebels. I thought was a really nice price, so I already own this one, but I figured why not just get another one because it was right when the Ahsoka show was coming out, so there was kind of a lot of hype surrounding that. So I was like, oh, I'll get another one just to get that nice hair piece to use for my collection. Let's see. Another minifigure here, just a lot of just slightly newer style of figures, but with great prices. This is from Lego Fantasy Era. It is one of the Skeleton Knights from Lego Fantasy Era, so that's very cool to get this with the printed armor piece. I really like that metallic printed armor piece there. I got Spida for Ninjago. This one's kind of a meme. I don't know why I got this one. I think I just got it because it was kind of funny. I feel like Spida and a lot of the snakes in Ninjago have become memes, so I was like, oh, you know what? I'll get another one to add to my Ninjago City displays there. I think that would be pretty funny to have to my collection. We also got a Lego Ninjago really cheap. Like this was ridiculously cheap, 8 krona for something like this, but this was a Lego Ninjago minifigure that I just figured would be another good one to add to my city because he has that unique headpiece. Moving onwards, let's see what else we've got here. So This is just another Phase 1 clone. This is very, very cool. Look at that. That is a quite nice detailing. It's one of the Bomb Squad troopers. Always good to get those. I got another Ninjago doubloon minifigure because I love Season 6 Skybound despite the writing issues and funniness going on with it. I like it, so I really like the character design from the Sky Pirates there, so I got another one to add to my city. Let's see, what's this? This is from LEGO Studios. It is the vampire molded coffin element. I thought that was very cool. I do already own it, but I figured why not get another one because it is a very unique LEGO item. Lots of these are now just kind of little LEGO items. There's another one here which is something I found interesting. It was a LEGO sports figure for the German soccer team, or I guess German football team, but it actually has a sticker for the torso, which is pretty rare for LEGO to do nowadays. So that was actually a sticker used for the LEGO sports and soccer players. So I got that as an extra minifigure. Let's see, what else do we have? Legoland Billund had a lot of Bosk keychains from 2011. Why, I don't know. This was not from an antique store, although it may as well have been. For whatever reason, every single shop in Legoland Billund had a Bosk keychain. I feel like they just discovered extra stock of them. I just had to get one because I thought it was really funny how they just had so many of these. Moving onwards, we have another one right here. Yeah, again, really good prices for these rare LEGO minifigures to find in Denmark, but let's go ahead and open up this guy right here. This is a vintage LEGO Castle Knight that I specifically got for that really nice looking plume. That is a really nice piece. Love that piece. Very rare to find it in such good condition like this. And then this one right here is actually from the LEGO Knights Kingdom chess set, but it was a standalone figure and I thought it was quite interesting to see. So I was like, why not? I'm just now realizing it doesn't come with a head. That's a little bit funny. Yeah, no head. I mean, I don't think the head was particularly rare, but kind of weird how it doesn't come with a head. But yeah, this is the piece. Cool to get the light gray cape. The light gray cape is pretty rare. I think I got it for the light gray cape, so that's why I got that one, but I did not realize there was no head. That's kind of funny. This is cool. This is actually a glued keychain of Ollie the Dragon, mascot of Legoland Parks. So this is fully 100% glued as a keychain. I think I got this years ago from Legoland Billund, like in 2008, the first time I went to Denmark, but it is really cool to see one that is brand new. Very nice item right there. They were selling a ton of Mosasaurus heads. They had like 20 of these. I thought it was very weird that they had so many for such a good price too, 20 Danish kroner. So I got 2 of them. Do I know what I'm going to do with the Mosasaurus heads? Not a clue. I really don't know. But I thought it was interesting how they just had so many of them. I just couldn't pass it up because there were just so many of the different Mosasaurus heads. I don't know why, but the Mosasaurus is probably one of the rarest LEGO dinosaurs, and these look to be in really good condition, so I was like, oh, I'll just get a couple. I feel like these would make, like, cool pauldrons on, like, a Bionicle character. I don't know, there's mocking potential there. There's something that could be done with that, so I kind of got those in reserve because it's pretty rare to find something as cool as that. Now, this is another LEGO Factory Tour minifigure. Oh, this is from the 2021 Factory Tour. I got so many of these. That's so interesting how they just kept making the same minifigure. Yeah, I think the minifigure is just identical, but this one says 2021 Factory Tour, so cool to get another one of those. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with all of those. I might use Whatnot to sell off some of the figures because I don't need like 4 of the same figure. It's the bricks with the year that's special, so I might just hold on to those. Let's see, what else is here? We have a bag of classic spacemen. That's really cool. Great price. It was 50% off too. 50% off a bag of classic LEGO spacemen, so obviously could not say no to that. Let's dump that out here. Oh man, okay, these are not in great condition. Like, they're in pretty used and worn condition. I mean, they're okay. They're not awful. Like, you can see what they look like here. A lot of them are actually quite nice. Like, this one's not bad. So, not bad. Very interesting how some of them just have different bits and pieces of helmets on and whatnot, but I think they're pretty cool. Like, these are original LEGO Classic Spacemen, and I feel like I want to add them to my future Classic Space displays, so why not just get a ton of authentic vintage Classic Spacemen at probably the best price I'm ever going to find them at. Moving onwards, we have some of the weirder items here. Let's go to some of the strange stuff. Yes, this is LEGO. Believe it or not, this is actually a LEGO Duplo doll. This was back when LEGO was doing these kind of LEGO education style Duplo stuff. So I'm gonna remove the the noose from the neck there. It's a little grim. There we go. Duplo doll. Why did I get this? Well, I like collecting weird Lego items, and this is a certifiable weird Lego item. It even sits like a kid. Honestly, that's kind of cute. The way the legs are spread out like that, to have it sit down, I like that. That's cute. But yeah, Duplo doll, kind of freaky. I guess maybe there's like a rule against buying dolls from antique stores, like now they'll haunt you or something, so like please don't haunt me, but I don't know, it's kind of cute, so I figured why not pick this one up. And the clothing is just on a Velcro like that. Interesting. Oh, I don't like that pattern. Oh, I don't want to look at that. Maybe I have a bit of trypophobia looking at that pattern on the behind there. Weird figure. But yep, you can even dress them up. Speaking of figures that you can dress up, I wanted to get a couple of Lego Scala dolls because they were so cheap and I don't own any Lego Scala, so I figured why not just try out what these like random Lego items were about. Oh, this one's having a bad hair day. But this was kind of Lego's foray in trying to experiment with making toys for girls, which was met with mixed success, I would say. Pretty mixed success here. This one has, how does this coat stay on? Is it like a bit of wire embedded in it? I don't know. That's a little funky, but yeah, this is an actual Lego item, which you can see right here. The hair is all over the place, but I think that's kind of to be expected. But yeah, you can see very weird how Lego is doing dolls like this. And if you were to look at this, you probably would not even realize that this is Lego unless you knew about Lego history. I also got this one because I thought the outfit was cool. It's kind of like a winter outfit where you've got a metallic blue color for the outfit, which is kind of cool. I feel like there's like potential for mocking possibilities in the clothing here. Everything can be used in an interesting fashion. And this one is actually sealed. So this is a sealed Lego Scala doll. I might keep this sealed just to have a sealed Lego Scala doll. I don't know what I'll do with it if I open it up, so I might actually hold on to this one sealed. I don't hold on to a lot of things sealed, but that one's weird enough that I feel like it's worth holding on to because it is such a strange and interesting shape. With all these special Lego minifigs out of the way, there is, believe it or not, still more for us to cover, including this mini-size Lego brick, which was kind of a cross between Duplo and Lego, but even larger than the standard Duplo brick. Again, another weird shape for a Lego item. We have this item right here, which is a sealed Lego System transparent bricks box, which is so cool to see this in such good condition as well. It is pretty much just the way that bricks were packaged back then. It comes with a very nice clear box. It looks absolutely beautiful, so this is super cool to get. Now, what else do we have here? We've got this, which is actually a gift from a Duck Bricks fan. Thank you so much for giving this to me. These are original Lego employee pins, which are so cool to see these actually metallic. I definitely need to come up with a really nice display for them. And of course, the VIP little keychain box does for now to kind of keep them stored away. This here is one of the Lego Kings from the original Lego Knights Kingdom sets. So this is just a minifigure that I did own, but I figured it was a really nice design. I do like the design of this particular king with the beard, and I have a lot of fond memories of playing with this minifigure and actually seeing him in comics growing up, because they actually did do a really nice Lego Knights Kingdom book. So definitely wanted to get this figure, which is really interesting. The printing is quite nice on this one in particular, so very cool. The hand is broken, but not a big deal. It's just a standard Lego hand, so I'll just easily get that one replaced there. Speaking of the homemaker style figures, I was able to get Lego set number 212. This is a homemaker style of box, so you can go ahead and open this up to reveal the contents inside, which is a pretty basic set. It is a couple of characters on a trike here, but it is just a really nice and charming little thing. It's kind of a kid riding, and there's kind of maybe a parent who's driving it, so it's quite an interesting little tiny build. But I personally got this because I thought it was very interesting that it did actually come with the box itself, which is, again, very rare for you to actually see something like this come with the box. I'm going to go ahead and get the hair reattached there. This hair seems like it's been maybe chewed up a bit by some sort of animal, because it is not wanting to go on super nicely here. It's supposed to go like this, but it's not really staying on the figure. That's a bit of a shame. I was hoping that it would be fine, but I guess you can kind of get it to go on. He's just balding a little bit there. So that is how this one attaches up. Just two folks on the scooter to add to my classic Lego homemaker style collection. Moving onwards, they had a large scale Vezon mask from the Paraka system sets. Obviously I do already own the set, but I figured why not get another copy of a giant Bionicle mask? I mean, I feel like that's just a really funny thing to get, and I thought it was really cool that they did stuff like this, so I just wanted to get an extra copy of this because they had that at a very good price. Moving onwards, I got a collection of Lego flags. These are vintage Lego stickered flags from back in the day when they were doing all sorts of different countries' flags. This is a surprise tool that will help us later for a future Lego model I want to work on. Here is a Lego system sealed poly bag of an elephant. I just thought it was really cool to get a vintage poly bag from 1996. And if you look on the back here, there was a bit of a rewards program where you could actually use this to claim some free Lego. Unfortunately, I'm sure that's expired nowadays. Moving on to this was actually a gift with purchase. I bought this from somebody's store and they gave me this for free because I bought so much. So first of all, thank you for doing that. What this is I think this is a set of vintage Lego train elements. I don't really know what to do with this, to be honest. It is fully sealed. It's very cool to see this sealed. It is, I believe, a motorized train engine for the vintage Lego system train sets, which I don't own a ton of. So I would love to own more so I can actually go ahead and use these pieces. But for now, it is actually just going to stay sealed until I actually get some more stuff. Here are the contents of that giant Scala box that I got. Honestly, not the most interesting thing because a lot of these are just boxes. So these are mostly just boxes that don't really resemble Lego whatsoever. But it's still cool to add something like that to my collection because, yeah, believe it or not, this is actually a Lego piece. So this is a Lego ruler. It is from Lego Scala, which you can see you can kind of insert all of these little beads into the ruler. It was its own building system. So that's how these worked. I have seen people use Lego Scala elements in crazy ways in mocks, particularly in Bionicle and Construction mocks. Never discount what people are willing to try out. So that is certainly something quite interesting. And then this bag is probably one of the most interesting that I have available because this are some copies of the original Lego bricks ever made. So in 1949, when Lego was first experimenting with making plastic bricks, they have these right here. You can see they literally say Lego on the undersides, but this is just so cool to actually see and to actually have a full bag of, and I kind of wish that I got more because they were very, very good in terms of the price, and I just figured I don't know what I'm going to do with so many of them, but now I kind of wish I got more. Moving onwards, let's see what else we've got. We have some special Coca-Cola bags here. These are exclusive to Japan, I believe, back in 2003 or 2002. They were only in Japan, which is why you can see they actually have the Japanese writing on the back. I'm going to go ahead and open these up at some point and actually have the minifigures inside be opened because they are some of the rarest poly bags out there. Very cool to get these as actual sets. And in the background, there are just some special Lego Belleville and Scala base plates, which were at very good prices, but definitely were a big pain to bring back. Lastly, I have a couple of sealed sets on the top here. Those ones are going to be fully sealed, although I probably will open up a few of them. Like I definitely want to open this one up. That is a glued Slave One bag charm. So that is actually a glued keychain, kind of similar to the Ollie keychain that we looked at earlier. Sealed Jack Stone set, that's a sealed Vintage Hospital, and of course a sealed Bionicle Rotuka spinner set as well to round it all out. One of the final items that I do have available here is this Lego Knights Kingdom clock. This was actually causing me quite a great deal of trouble because, funnily enough, it ticks very loudly. You can't really hear it on camera, but this was ticking very loudly, so it kept me up while I was sleeping in my hotel room. This also will just randomly start to beep because there are pre-programmed alarms in it that I couldn't figure out how to turn off. So there was a beeping noise in my hotel room for like 2 days that I just couldn't find the source of, and as it turns out, it was this. So quite funny how this one was a source of a lot of issues, but it is a very interesting vintage Lego Knights Kingdom clock from, I think, 2006. So this is Knights Kingdom 2. Very cool to see it still working to this day. Yeah, this thing came with the batteries in it, so it does have that battery in there. Don't know how long that battery has been in there, but it still works, and it's kind of cool to see this as an actual Lego item. Moving onwards from that, I think we've about summed up everything. Again, the Bionicle set is going to be a separate video. Same for the Snap set here. This is a motorized Snap car, so that is going to be its own separate thing as well. Lastly, there was this Lego Chima piece. I talked about it earlier in the video, but this was kind of a little Chima accessory pack here, so you can see that that's what this looks like. Comes with a little bit of a notebook as well, so I guess this is for
keeping score for Speedor's races. Very interesting how they have that. It's got a ripcord here with the special rubberized grip to it, so that's cool to see. Nothing super crazy going on, just some bricks to build a little bit of a stand. This is a sealed Lego polybag, and yes, I say sealed because polybags used to come with, or keychains used to come in polybags, and this one's really interesting because it is the 1999 Lego Ninja, but with the Lego logo on the chest instead of the standard print, which is very interesting. Here's another sealed Lego City set from 2006. This just reminded me of my own childhood, so that's why I got another copy of that for fun. Another sealed Lego designer set from 2003. This is such a weird box, almost feels like it should be a polybag. Actually, I'm not sure if this is sealed. Now that I'm feeling it, this might not have actually been sealed. Oh, it is. Oh, that's so weird. So wait. Oh, that's weird. This is a polybag, but it came in a box. But inside the box is just a polybag of the build. What a bizarre thing. That is so interesting. I don't know the story behind this. I'm gonna keep that closed up there, but yeah, that is so strange. The text says, please keep the Lego address for future reference. Oh, special version for Duracell. Interesting, so this was packaged with Duracell batteries. How strange. Yeah, weird to get that. This was something, I think I actually got this at Scarebeck, but this is a Chinese Lego brick celebrating the anniversary of one of the stores in China. So you can see right there, it says first anniversary. Very cool to have that as a printed brick. I'm definitely going to put all of these weird and special bricks on display at some point, but I'm going to keep that with the bag for now. And I think that is basically all there is to it. That is the haul from the antique stores. A lot of little weird things, but I'm very happy with what I was eventually able to get because this was so cool to actually get as a full-on haul, and I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the many different Lego antique items. Okay, and with that, we have summed up our incredible journey across multiple different antique stores in Billund, Denmark. I cannot wait to go next year. I hope I can go next year if I'm able to attend the fan media days again with the LAN, because this was a crazy experience. And big shout out to Jonathan, to Sarah, and to everybody else who went with me, who was able to really be able to just kind of hang out and get some footage and just be really fun going around the stores together. That was so much fun that we were able to do this kind of as a group and to hang out together while visiting these stores. I honestly will remember this experience for a long time. So this was so much fun. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Duckbricks. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more Lego news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. And bye for now.